Windows just crashed. Your MacBook costs $2,500. Linux is completely free. And somehow, billions of people are still arguing about which one is better. But here's the real question nobody asks. Why do these things even exist? And which one is actually built for you? In the next 8 minutes, I'm breaking down every major operating system on the planet. What makes each one special? What makes each one frustrating? And at the very end, I'll tell you exactly which one you should be using based on your lifestyle. So don't skip ahead. Let's get into it. Before anything else, what even is an operating system? Think of it like a restaurant. Your hardware, the processor, RAM, storage, that's the kitchen. Your apps, Chrome, Spotify, iGames, those are the customers placing orders. The operating system is the manager in the middle making sure everything runs, nothing burns down, and orders actually reach the right place. Without an OS, your device is just expensive metal sitting on a desk doing absolutely nothing. Now, let's meet every player in this game. First up, the one you've probably used your whole life. Windows. Microsoft launched it back in 1985, and honestly, it looked awful. Just a basic interface slapped on top of MS-DOS. But it evolved, Windows 95, XP 710. And today, Windows runs on roughly 75% of all computers on Earth. The reason it dominates is simple. It runs on everything. Dell, HP, Asus, Lenovo, budget laptops, gaming rigs. Windows doesn't care. It handles gaming, coding, video editing. Office work, basically whatever you throw at it. But here's where it gets annoying. Updates. Constant, intrusive, badly timed updates. You're in the middle of something important and boom, Windows needs to restart. And sometimes those updates don't even fix things, they break them. Security is another issue. Being the world's most popular OS also makes it the world's biggest target for viruses and malware. And of course, the legendary blue screen of death. Been haunting users since 1985. Still going strong. Now, let's talk about the operating system that somehow convinced millions of people to spend $2,500 on a laptop, macOS. Apple launched macOS in 2001, and unlike Windows, it only runs on Apple's own devices. MacBooks, iMacs, Mac Minis. That's it. Sounds limiting, right? But here's the trade-off that makes it worth it for a lot of people. Because Apple builds both the hardware and the software, everything is perfectly optimized together. It's like a custom-built race car versus a car built from random parts. macOS is smooth, stable, and almost never crashes. That's why creative professionals, video editors, graphic designers, musicians absolutely swear by it. Apps like Final Cut Pro, Logic Pro, and GarageBand come built right in, and they run beautifully on Mac hardware. And if you own an iPhone, your messages, calls, and files sync between your phone and your Mac automatically, like they're the same device. But nobody talks about the downsides enough. macOS is expensive, really expensive, and gaming? Basically impossible. Mac devices don't support DirectX, the technology most PC games are built on, and they don't carry the powerful graphics cards serious gaming needs. Okay, but what if I told you there's a powerful OS that's completely free? This is where things get really interesting. Linux. And here's the first thing you need to know. Linux isn't one operating system. It's an entire family of operating systems called distributions, or distros. It was created in 1991 by a Finnish engineer named Linus Torvalds who literally just wanted a free alternative to everything else. Because it's open source, meaning the code is public and free. Anyone can take it, modify it, and build their own version. That's why there are hundreds of Linux distros. Ubuntu is beginner-friendly. Kali Linux is built for cybersecurity experts. Debian and CentOS power massive servers. And here's the fact that blows most people's minds. Google, Facebook, and NASA are all running on Linux servers. Most of the internet is quietly running on Linux right now. You've never seen it, but you've used it every single day. Linux is also incredibly lightweight. It can run on hardware so old that Windows gave up on it years ago. The catch? Linux is not for beginners. A lot of distros rely on typing text commands instead of clicking buttons, and most mainstream apps and games simply aren't built for it. But what if you just live on the internet anyway? Meet Chrome OS. Google launched it in 2011 with one bold idea. Most people spend their entire time in a browser anyway. So what if the browser just was the operating system? Chrome OS comes on Chromebooks, affordable. You lightweight laptops that boot up in literally seconds. They're massive in schools because they're cheap, simple, and incredibly hard to break or infect with malware. Most of your files live on Google's servers, not the device. So even if the laptop gets destroyed, your work is safe. You can also install Android apps through the Google Play Store now, which made Chrome OS way more useful than it used to be. But take away the internet, and Chrome OS becomes almost useless. Full Photoshop? No. Professional video editing? No. High-end gaming? Only if you're streaming it, which needs fast internet anyway. All right, let's get to the ones in your pocket. Android, the single most used operating system on Earth. Not just mobile, everything. Google built Android on open source principles, which means any phone manufacturer can use it. Samsung, Xiaomi, OnePlus, Motorola, they all run Android. That's why you can get an Android phone for $50 or $1,200. What makes Android special is freedom. You can swap out your entire home screen, install custom themes, sideload apps from outside the Play Store, and genuinely make the phone feel like yours. The Google Play Store also has millions of apps and games covering basically everything. The downsides, though, not every Android phone gets regular software updates. Cheaper devices especially get left behind fast, which creates security risks over time. And manufacturers love pre-installing bloatware, apps you never wanted, taking up space you can't get back. And on the other side of mobile warfare, iOS, where Android gives you freedom, iOS gives you perfection. Apple's iOS runs exclusively on iPhones and iPads. The Apple controls the hardware, the software, the App Store, literally everything. And that obsessive control produces something Android honestly can't match: consistency. Every iPhone, regardless of age, feels smooth and polished. Apple also supports their devices for years. Even older iPhones keep getting software updates long after most Android phones have been abandoned. And inside the Apple ecosystem, iPhone, iPad, MacBook, Apple Watch, everything connects and talks to each other seamlessly. But that control comes at a serious cost. iOS is restrictive. You can't easily install apps from outside the App Store. You can't customize your home screen the way Android lets you. No expandable storage, no headphone jack. And iPhones are expensive. Every single year, a new one that looks basically the same. Now, here's the part nobody talks about: the ancient systems that secretly run the world. Here's something most people never learn. Almost every operating system we've covered, Linux, macOS, Android, they all trace their roots back to two ancient systems: Unix and BSD. Unix was built in the late 1960s at Bell Labs. It was designed for one purpose: handle massive workloads, multiple users, multiple tasks, all at once. Today, it runs corporate servers, banking systems, and scientific research facilities around the world. And it is not cheap. A full Unix deployment for a large company can cost over $350,000. BSD came out of UC Berkeley in the 1970s as a Unix-based alternative, and you've definitely used it without knowing. The PlayStation 4 and 5 both run BSD-based operating systems. Netflix's entire content delivery network runs on it too. You'll never install Unix or BSD on your laptop, but without them, none of the operating systems we talked about today would exist. All right, you made it. Here's everything summarized in 30 seconds. If you game or need flexibility, go with Windows. If you're a creative professional, Mac OS is your best friend. If you're a developer who loves tinkering, Linux is waiting for you. If you're a student or casual user, Chrome OS gets the job done perfectly. If you want variety and freedom on mobile, Android is your pick. If you want the smoothest mobile experience, iOS wins. And if you're running enterprise servers or banking systems, Unix and BSD are in a league of their own. The best operating system isn't the most powerful one. It's the one that fits your life, your budget, and what you actually do every day. If this video helped you, a like genuinely helps this channel grow more than you think. And if you want a full deep dive on any one of these systems, drop it in the comments. I read every single one. See you in the next one.